Hi everyone, I am Adam from Trade with Precision and welcome to Vantage Markets Inside the Chart. So Friday had some interesting reactions to the market. Let's start off by having a look at the dollar index, which is obviously the biggest cog in the system. Here we can see that it has been producing on the weekly chart over the last few weeks. We've been hitting lower, lots of nice bearish candles in the moving averages, and we have the 50, 20 and 10 in a bearish formation. We have a series of lower highs. Overall, it's been trending downward in a relatively calm fashion. What's interesting about this last week, and especially in the last few hours of Friday, so we breached this upward sloping trend line, and really all that does, and not just that actually, we breached the previous low over here that now confirms we are on a downtrend, but more than anything else, it confirms effectively that that bearish momentum has returned. So what I'm looking for this week is a continuation, just to see a continuation of the break of the low of this weekly candle, and to see it continuing to head back down towards 97 and potentially 96.50. So let's see how that goes. Let's have a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar again, same thing. Very nice trend to the upside. Break, pull back, finding nice support around that 1.1575 level, 1.16 level, and finishing up with a relatively nice bullish candle here. Hasn't broken to the upside just yet, but overall, this momentum and this price action behavior appears to be quite bullish. Interesting to me as well, GBP here having broken upward through that recent downtrend as well, coming up, producing an equal high. And again, a nice, very strong bullish engulfing bar on Friday. So a lot of this just hinting at a big bullish recovery. This mostly as a response to suggested possible rate cuts. So we can see that would potentially weaken the dollar and might be a bit of a boost to the index market. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. Australian dollar here, finding some support where it is. Let's have a look at it from a monthly perspective. You can see here it's been mostly bullish candles here within a longer term downtrend, but it's staying up above this 0.6350 level. Let's continue. Let's have a look at the Kiwi dollar, which has been a little bit weaker in comparison. This just sort of drifting slightly lower there. Dollar yen itself also battling a really big battle here, trying to get down, then getting pushed back up, then up, pushed down. Indecision candles, very much the case over here. And this is the last 6 or 7 weeks. So the dollar yen itself, I beg your pardon, not really sure where to go from here. Dollar CAD generally trending high, very nice little bit of a sort of a double bounce and a bit of a change of trend over here. In fact, that uptrend was looking particularly good at the time. It's still very much intact. We've broken through this recent level of resistance, so we haven't found any support there. But looking to see if we do produce a bullish candle here this coming week and take another run up at the highs. It's very possible that that will fail, and we'll see that dollar continue to weaken, which might find that dollar CAD itself is actually pushed further down. I would say that a break below 3742 would be significant. Alternatively, a break below the most recent swing lows here would be an end of this trend. It was quite a strong move on Friday. We need to see if there's a follow through. Dollar Swissy, indeed, actually starting to look more and more like it wants to head lower. So nice bearish candles in the moving averages. Same thing, very similar to the dollar index here. Having pulled back up, producing indecision, small indecision and bearish candles here. Looking like it's now breaking and starting to leave the moving averages. My expectation for now, especially if we break the low of last week's candle this coming week, is that we'll continue to head lower. Let's have a quick look at gold. Stays within the range, but did have a relatively strong day on Friday. A nice little bullish engulfing bar there. Silver as well, also looking particularly bullish. In fact, silver is slightly different from gold this time. It has overall maintained a much higher, much more bullish uptrend. This bullish engulfing weekly bar closing above this recent level of resistance, hints at the potential for further upside. And looking at it from a monthly perspective, you can see we've got a relatively strong trend. So this is in a different place to gold at the moment. We can have a quick look at Bitcoin as well. You can see it's still stuck within a range, attempting to get a bit of a boost on Friday, but actually ultimately closing a little bit lower. So it's range bound, and therefore we could see it work its way back up to the top of the range. But if we just took a bit of a step up here, the weekly candle, it's also, you can see finding some strong support there. Look at it from a monthly perspective, you can see a little bit of indecision there. So again, wouldn't surprise me if we did see a break a little bit lower and a testing of that support, but otherwise for the most part it remains range bound. Now, let's have a look at the global markets, the Dow here as well, finishing much higher on the weekly, breaking up through this level of resistance. You can see here, 2 all-time highs, so another strong finish, especially on this bullish candle here. I've marked for interest sake, potentially historically we can have a bearish month in September. So I've marked the tail end of August and the early start of October. I'm curious to see if we do form some type of correction during that period. There's no reason why we have to, but historically Septembers have often been bearish, and I'm curious to see if it will follow through. Now, the S&P as well, also very nice, strong finish for the day on Friday, and also a strong finish for the week. If we have a look at the NASDAQ, Nasdaq here also finishing on a relatively strong note there. Have a look at it from a daily perspective. You can see this trend starting to lose a little bit of momentum here. We've got this sort of continued divergence, multiple divergences. Usually that would hint at it starting to lose momentum, and I suspect that may very well be the case over the coming month or two. We'll see how it plays out, but it does look as though it is starting to slow down. Meanwhile, look at that Russell 2000. What a fantastic day. In fact, what a fantastic week for it. It's just had an incredibly strong recovery, and this is one of the strongest periods I can recall for the Russell 2000 in years, literally. So there's no doubt that this appetite for buying is extended beyond the majors. The FTSE itself also continuing to break through resistance and head higher. Be nice to have a bit of a pullback here, providing some buying opportunities here, but a very nice strong finish for the week. The DAX as well, staying within its range at the moment, not a lot happening there. Just keeping in mind how bullish this has been for most of the year, and therefore it is running a little bit on steam there, just because it has been so bullish for the last year. So to my mind, I see this more as a consolidation ahead of a potential breakout to the upside. Want to have a quick look at the Hang Seng, so let's have a quick look across. Let's go the other way, on the other side of the world, and here you can see again breaking higher from a monthly perspective, also looking nice and bullish over here, but from a daily perspective, let's just frame that up. You can see a very nice finding of support and then finishing higher on Friday. We'll see. We have yet to see if this is going to be some form of double top. There's a little bit of bearish divergence, but for the most part, this appears to have recovered, and we'll see if it can continue to push higher. So we're anticipating a potentially weaker dollar this week, unless there's another U-turn for some reason. We're expecting a continuation of that weaker dollar. We're also lucky to see and expect the markets continuing to push higher. And with that, plenty of different things to look for. There should be some good opportunities. Trade safely. Thank you very much. Have a great week.